Today we're focusing on two things mostly, horizontal and vertical lines and some story problems and interpretation, okay? So first of all, we're looking at horizontal and vertical lines. This is one that tends to trip up a lot of people. So when you have a graph of y equals 2, that means no matter what x is, y is always going to be 2. So example down below here, we have this line, y equals 2. See, notice that x at -3, y is 2. At 0, y is 2. At 5, y is 2. And guess what it would be at 100? 2. So that makes a horizontal graph. Okay? So it's kind of the opposite of what you think. You always think of y as going up and down. But when it's just y equals something, your line is going to be horizontal. Okay? Same goes for x. When x equals something, that means it's that number for every value of y. So it will be a vertical line for x. Now, which one's a function and which one is not? The y is a function. This one is not, because there is infinite number of possibilities of y for one value of x, right? Okay. No, yeah, you only have one value. If you use the vertical line test on this, it shows you. This one, the vertical line test, it covers the line. It's the exact same line, right? The vertical line test, remember that if we use a vertical line and I move it across my function and it only crosses in one point as I move it, that means it is a function. Now on this one, notice that if I use this and it actually covers about 1 billion dots. So this one cannot possibly be a function. If I had a parabola like this and I use my vertical line across it, oops, I'm moving my whole page. Notice that it crosses in 2 places. So it's not a function if I cross in 2 places. Okay, it can only cross in 1 place. Okay? All right, so let's go down here and let's look at this one. What I want you guys to do is take a moment and try to graph those yourself. And we'll turn back on the video in a minute and show the results. So our result we have here is these 2 blue lines. Okay? This one right here is your x value, x equals 5. And this one right here is your y equals -3. Okay? Okay, so from our textbook, there's an example of a word problem that I want to look at. And basically, this is the number of people in the United States living alone, and they compare women and men. Okay? And notice that it's number in millions. Okay? And the year on the bottom. And what do you notice about the slopes of those 2 lines? Yeah, they're increasing, and they look parallel. You're right, they look parallel. I don't know if they are exactly, but they look pretty close to parallel. Okay, so what we need to do on this is it's asking us in checkpoint 7 here to use this graph to find the slope for the men's line. Okay? It gave us 2 points. What were those 2 points that you see? What are they? Can you guys read them? 1990 and 9.0. And the second one is 2003 and 12.5. Okay? So we need to use our slope equation to find this. So it'll be 12.5 minus 9.0 over 2003 minus 1990. Okay, so 12.5 minus 9.0 is what? 3.5 over 13. So if you actually put that in your calculator, you should get 0.269. Notice that it is slightly different than the women's slope, okay? So they would cross at some point or another. But what does the number 2.269 really mean in English according to this, this graph right here? What is it telling us? How much it's increasing. So what is increasing? The number of people living alone is specifically what kind of people? Men. So the number of men, how many men are living alone, increasing each year. So this is 0.269 million men. Okay? So it's really like 269,000 men per year, increasing that many amount are living alone a year. Okay? So when they ask you that, it's specifics that they're asking you for. You need to really use English to interpret what you're saying. Okay? Let's do another problem. This one's using this graph right here, cars and revenue. Millions of cars sold and SUVs sold. Now, what you guys notice right away about this graph? What are you saying? They're going to intersect it somewhere. But what else are you noticing about cars versus SUVs? Yeah, cars are declining in sales, you're right, and SUVs are increasing, okay? So the question we're going to look at here, it says, use this figure to find a function in the form S of x equals mx plus b that models the SUV sales, okay? So let's look at the SUV sales again. How would I put that in the function y equals mx plus b? What two things do I need to find? Slope. Slope is one of them. And what else do I need to find? The intercept. Okay? By looking at the graph, you can find the intercept right away. What is that for SUVs? 1. Okay? It's at 1. Now, how do I find the slope? You could maybe just count rise over run. Notice that this is also, the x value on this is years after 1990. Okay? The other thing you could do is take these 2 points and use your formula. Okay? And those actually would be a little bit better because they give you more of an exact value. Otherwise, you're going to be estimating. Okay? So you use these 2 points. You got 3.9 minus 1 over 13 minus 0. Okay? So 3.9 minus 1 is 2.9 over 13. And that would end up being 0.223. Okay? So my slope is 0.223. Now if I'm going to put that back into this equation, it's going to be y equals 0.223. What comes next? X, good, plus 1. So that's what it's asking you to do, is put it into that form. Okay? All right. That's it.